Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. I know. You guys are all bored. You get me? No one's trying to watch Brentford against Sheffield Wednesday. So we have provided you with entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Today, obviously, we get the news. Ruben, I don't know how the hell that North Side fraud says it. Ruben Amorim, you get me? Ruben Amorim is going to sign with Manchester United, you get me? Ten Hag gone. We're going to be talking about if Bukayo Saka is a big game player. Ice Cold Palmer is back. He scored against Newcastle. Ice cold. Big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Once again, thank you to every single one of you guys for 40,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. Big up to all of you guys. You guys made this possible with all your help, with all your love. 40K, ladies and gentlemen. The road to 50K continues. I've been thinking, shall I make a party stream at 40? I'm like, no. You know what? Let's make a big party at 50, inshallah. So that's the target. So like, share, comment, subscribe. The grind never ends, never stop, never settle. You get me? So hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get to 100 likes ASAP right now. As you're walking in, hit the like button and subscribe. And joining me, first and foremost, the guy with his Independence Day today. He has to be top pro. This is the day for him to be top pro. If there is ever a day for him to be top pro, it's today. And actually, I was speaking to him off stream. I'm like, it's actually very rare that someone gets his first choice manager. And this guy not only has gotten his independence, he's also gotten his first choice manager. Numero uno, in his own words. Man like Flawless is in the building. How you doing, Flawless, man?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, first and foremost. Two things. Big up for having me, first and foremost. Secondly, congrats again on 40K, man. Thoroughly deserved. You be putting in the work, man. So congrats, man. Salute, because that's no easy feat. That's no minor achievement or minor milestone, and you should do a party for it, I'm telling you. But yeah, man, big up. I'm blessed. Yeah, man, Independence Day for true. Shout out to all the United fans in the chat. Independence Week. Amorim, that's a surprise as well. I'm just over the moon, man. I'm over the moon. I'm so happy. So happy. It's great.
He's so happy as well. Every stream I go in, his smile is like till his ear. Yeah, every stream. He got his first choice as well. He's like, every time I ask him, like, what do you take, Amorim? He's like, that's my first choice. That's my first choice.
Definitely.
Got his first choice as well. Anyway, let him be happy. Khalas. It's okay. We love Flawless anyway. As long as he leaves my club alone, let me rest. Anyway, big up to you, Flawless. Thank you so much for joining us. Joining us next as well, I'm a massive fan. Ahmed Nation. Bridge Nation in the location. Domination against Newcastle on Sunday. He's a fraud for saying that's secondary when I'm bigging him up on Mo's channel, but I let it go. Man like Ahmed is in the building. How you doing, Ahmed, man?
I'm doing good, amazing, sensational. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, man. Can't wait, man.
Big up to you, man. Big up to you, Ahmed.
Big up, man.
Very time, fam.
Big up. Joining us as well, you get me? Everyone's favorite Italian, you get me? Joining us on the channel. Actual Italian, not fake Italian like Footy Judge Mo. Hold that, you fraud. You get me? Joining us is everyone's favorite Gunnar, the Sicilian Gunnar, ladies and gentlemen. Man like Giuseppe is in the building. How you doing, Giuseppe, man?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Big up the boys. I can see Flawless is feeling it. He's got a Man United hat on, you know. I know these Man United guys haven't liked repping the badge recently, so I know that they've got to be gassed. But yeah, man, good to be back, man. Thanks for having me. Congrats on the 40K. Smashing it. Well done, brother.
Big up. And finally, last but not least, it's rare for me on a Premier League show to invite a Liverpool fan, but sometimes you need someone who can give you great opinions other than myself, you know? So you need someone else to bring that element to the stream. And this guy been watching football for about 50 years, so he brings in that element. Buster is not in the building today. Buster can hold that. Dogs are cats are clear of dogs. Dogs can hold that. You get me? Buster can hold that as well. So joining us on the channel is man like Raks. How you doing, Raks, man?
Listen, man, you can talk about your footballing opinions, but I'm sorry, anyone who says cats are clear of dogs, your other opinions are highly questionable. So yeah, but anyway, it's nice to be back, and it's been about a day since I streamed with Ahmed. Flawless, I think the last time I was on the stream with Flawless was like 2 years ago or something.
Years ago.
So I hope Hope you're well,
Hope
bro.
you're blessed too, man.
And Giuseppe, I think maybe it's the first time. So yeah, nice to be here around friends and looking forward to it. And yeah, Hassan, by the way, big up for 40K. I remember back in the day we were in the slums, in the streets, on Twitter Spaces, where there was like 5 of us complaining about all kinds of FSG mainly. But yeah,
Raks, remember when we first
started from the bottom?
Probably one of the earliest people. Remember when we got like 20 people listening? We used to get so gassed on Spaces, like 20 people listening, bro. This is a big space. You get me? And then I had 3,000 people listening when Wolves beat us by 3-0. They were tuning into my rant. That's the infamous Ice Spice and Bambi on Ice space. You get me? So
that was legendary, man. That was legendary.
Yeah. Time flies, man. Time flies. Listen, as my guy TKA says, make sure you guys are smashing the like button on your way in. Also, all these guys' channels in the description. Sicilian Gunner TV in the description. Go subscribe. The Bridge Nation in the location in the description. Go subscribe. Raks doesn't have a channel. Fraudulent behavior. You get me? But he's on Twitter, so go follow him on Twitter. And you can also check out more of Flawless's content on Sarcasm City TV. All of them are in the description. Go subscribe. Give this channel a subscribe as well and like. And let's just get this party started with Flawless, because he has to be the person that starts this whole thing off. He has to be the Ten Hag conversation, the Ruben Amorim conversation. There's been so much that's happened in about 48 hours. I'm going to alley-oop this to Flawless. I was watching his stream on Sunday after the West Ham loss, and it felt like Flawless had this give up energy where he just gave up on the club. I don't think if I asked him at that time, do you think Ten Hag will go, he would have said yes. But he woke up the next day, alhamdulillah, happy, safe and healthy. Club statement, Ten Hag gone. So walk me through step by step before we get to Amorim. We have to talk about that guy first.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
Talk to me, brother.
Yeah, you mentioned it there. You're spot on in regards to the game on Sunday. I had no idea that he was going to be sacked the next day. If someone would have asked me on that day, I would have said no chance. I thought he was here for the long haul because there was no rumors, there was no reports. I don't even think it trended on socials. And you know what it's like. Normally, things like that will trend on socials. No mainstream media, no content creators, no in the knows on socials said anything about it. So I'm just like, another loss, game we should have won. Ten Hag still here. We're still in jail. You know what I'm saying? 23-hour lockdown, shoe program, all that. We're to Denzel Washington in training day. That's legit what it felt like. And then boom, I was serious. Everyone gets that reference if they've seen training day. That's what it was like playing basketball in Pelican Bay. Like, that's just what it was, man. It was so bad. And then woke up the next day. Shout out to my guy Matthew, because he was the first person I seen the message. And he was like, he's gone. And I was like, the first thing I messaged him back half sleep was like, no way. And he's like, yeah, he's gone. And then troops. That was the second message I seen, because obviously we were doing the podcast. And he was like, yeah, man, he's gone. You know what I'm saying? You're a pussy hole. I was like, all right, this guy, man, this is just calling me out for no reason. So then that's when all the other messages are coming in. Obviously, group chats going crazy. All the group chats going crazy. Multiple messages, not just from United fans, other fans. Yeah, he's left. Ten Hag's gone. So then what a great way to start the day. You know what I'm saying? There was no better way, because it was out of the blue as well. I felt like I'd done 25. I didn't realize how miserable I was until he was gone, because it felt like I was doing 25 years in jail, and it felt like the first day out. That's what it felt like. It was woeful. Like, and I'm never a live in the moment person, because people were like, oh, who we gonna get next? I said, forget all of that. We'll deal with all that tomorrow. I was living in that moment for today, that he's gone, or who's the next manager, or it's gonna be Southgate, or it's gonna be someone you don't like. You can't get a good manager. Money. I'm like, all of that is all well and good, and that's conversation for tomorrow, literally today. So that was my initial thoughts on it in regards to him being sacked. And then it was just great it was great podcasting and seeing all my fellow United fans happy as well. We ain't been happy in the fan base in a long time. Seen everybody smile. There's people I've met who've never seen smile when talking about Manchester United. Energetic, enthusiastic. It was great. It was great.
There are names that I'm seeing even in my chat that have disappeared. This guy right here, I haven't seen him in like a year. He probably hates football over the last year. You get me? Where's the other guy as well? This Memphis guy, I ain't seen him in a year, bro. I ain't seen him. Twiz Star, I haven't seen him since I had 1K subscribers. That's how long ago I didn't. Bro, there are so many. There are so many like Man United fans I actually haven't even seen in my comment section since forever, bro. I'll be so honest with you.
Because it's miserable. I don't blame them. If I didn't make content for a living, I would have stopped watching. I wouldn't be in comment section. What do we have to discuss? Shout out to my guy Dan Silly, man. He left the group chat and stopped coming on the channel. He was like, until he's gone. I was like, Fez, I didn't even get mad at him. I'm like, you know what? I fully understand. So I seen people in my comment section, I hadn't seen him in time, Manchester United fans. So it was just the whole glee and sheer enjoyment of him leaving. Like that's just what it was. Yeah,
they ain't even denying it. Look at this. This guy was here from 47, bro. Like,
I get it. Hey, Twiz, I fully understand. To any United fan, I fully get it. I would have left. 110%. It was miserable. It was so bad. I don't think people, until we started talking about it and talking about things that had happened, that's when you realize how bad it is. It's like being in a bad relationship and then you think about what happened. And during said relationship, it lets you know, like, right, that was complete, absolute madness that I was going through. It was hell. It was. But hey, man, he's gone. Over the moon, man. I'm so happy that he's gone. It's so great.
Fair enough.
For real.
Fair enough. I respect it. Big up to my guy Ankit, says congratulations, bro. Shukriya bhai. Diwali couldn't be much better. 1.5 year I have been. Hashtag Gandu. That's a very bad word. You get me? Ganja out, icing on cake would be to lit the Chelsea up now. Fighting words there. But I get where you're coming from, to be honest with you, Ankit. Shukriya bhai for the super chat. So, flawless now. News is building up. First day is over. The day of happiness is now behind you. Now there is more news. And it's extra happiness for you because it's, in the words of Northside, because he likes to do this Portuguese thing, Ruben Amorim is coming to Manchester United. So talk to me. How do you feel about that?
That was one of them because I was on the celebration stream I was doing on the day talking about Ten Hag being sacked, and shout out to my guy Sheik. He was doing a show after me and I was going to go on there. So he started his stream. I was late there because I was doing some stuff, and then he rang me and I'm thinking he's ringing me to say, oh, you joining the stream? And I've gone, yeah. Like, I'm going to join the stream in a second. Give me a second. And then he's gone, have you seen the news? I said, what news? He went, Ornstein Bomber. I said, what? He said, Amorim. I was like, you're lying. He's like, nah, check it for real. It's Amorim. And then obviously I was like, all right, I'll be on in 5. Other messages are coming through. Same way with Ten Hag being sacked, Amorim. So then I'm on cloud 10. This is cloud 11 now. Or word to Ryan, cloud 16 at this point. Because not only have we got rid of Ten Hag, you know what I'm saying? Like, not only have we got rid of Ten Hag, after Flick, obviously, because he went to Barca, Amorim was the guy that I was like, yeah, go get him. So then I'm reading that, we're on the stream, read the Ornstein tweet, read the rest of the tweets, everyone's information. I'm like, the fact that it was done so quickly and it was the same day as well, so over the moon, I was like, right, Amorim. And then obviously the conversation was then, is it now or is it the summer type of things? But it's seeming now with more information that it's now. But yeah, that just topped off a great day. It was fantastic. And I hit 13K that same day. Oh, it was beautiful. 10
well done.
And I hit 13K. I was over the moon. I was like, yeah, this is brilliant. A1.
What's Amorim going to change at your club? This is the final question before we get the guys' opinions as well. How's this going to change? How's this going to get better? Because I know Flawless, here's the thing. Everyone knows, me and Flaw has been bantering for a long time. But Flawless is always someone who understands, like, this sport is much bigger than just change manager. Absolutely. How do Man United's, like, this whole direction that you've had, everything that's happened over the last 10 years, how does this once and for all change now?
In regards to it, it's... Football's a system game. I say this all the time, especially in 2024. It's system-based. You can see that. Look at some of the teams who are where they are and performing well. It's not individual quality. Yes, there is a level of individual quality. However, systems matter. I'm looking for this manager. If he's as good as we think he is, as good as I think he is, he's going to make significant improvement just by putting these players in a system and getting the best out of them. I'm not sat here asking for Premier League winning and Champions League winning level team. That'd be foolish. That's nonsense and that's unrealistic. However, compete. Are Manchester United good enough to compete in any match? Yes. So that's what I'm looking for. Come in and implement the basics. That's what I'm looking. Come in and implement your system. I'm looking at it when we lose or draw a game. I see exactly what you're trying to do. I see exactly the profiles that you need for every single position and see where we are lacking in quality. And I'm expecting you not only to improve the team, improve individuals as well. Like I said, if you're as good as we think you are, we get significant improvement. I watched Emery do it with Aston Villa. They was 17th under Steven Gerrard. No one thought that team was any good. They signed a left back and they finished in the Europa League place. They finished in the Europa League. Nobody at that time Gerrard was there was like, this is a Europa League level side. No, everyone was like, if Gerrard keeps him, they're getting sacked and these players are terrible and going to be in the Championship. Coaching matters where to surf for, and that's where I'm at with it. So it's like, just from now to the end of the season, come in, implement a system, make improvements. That's what I'm, individuals and team. Yes, it's not your players whatsoever, but still you can get more out of these players, and they don't even have to be great. For players below average, getting performing to an average level. For players average, getting performing to an above average level. You're capable of that. If you're as good as we think you are, you're capable. And the season is still salvageable. We're in 3 cup competitions. I'm looking for you to win one of them. 110%. Without doubt. FA Cup and League Cup, we won 2 in the past 2 years. In regards to FA Cup last year, the League Cup the year before that. And the Europa League is right there. I'm saying we got 5 games left. We're 4 points off the top 8. It's like, look at our running in that. So again, I have I have expectation of you making significant improvement in this first season, and then see where we land. So that's what I'm looking for.
Bro, but just on this, because I actually think it's not a bad appointment. I think it's a decent appointment. But like I know a lot of United fans, a lot of my friends are actually United fans, even though I live in London. So you're in the house. But listen,
Beckham Reds, bro. Beckham Reds, man. That's what.
But
you know what it is when you're worldwide. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? You're used to that. You know what I'm saying? When you're a worldwide juggernaut. Yo, what are you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? Sam got more subs than the capacity of your stadium. You know, there's levels to this. But hey, we move.
What? You've got 45k, 43 actually. I think so. 43.
All right, so he's going to be past that. He's going to be past that by the end of the year.
Not yet, man. Not yet.
Hassam Nation's bigger than the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Hassam Nation's bigger than the bridge, man. You know, that's what happens, man.
I'll come in peace. I'll come in peace.
No.
The flawless on smoke. I love it. Let's go.
Because you know what it is, Hassam? People use that all the time. That's what happens when you're a juggernaut, but they don't know that because they got a little Matchbox Stadium, but we move. Go on. Sorry, as you were. Sorry, Sicilian.
Yeah.
You know.
It's all right, bro. But yeah, a lot of my mates were saying the same thing about Ten Hag, which I'm hearing now about Amorim. Now, is there a possibility that he comes in and he ain't what everyone thinks he's gonna be? Do you think like? Because I look at it and I'm like, it's another league that's kind of like I don't want to use the term Farmers League, because you could argue that the German league's Farmers League and all these, but the fact that he's at Sporting, and I don't know, man. The times I've seen Sporting in Europe, they ain't done the best. They've done all right under him. But I just think, is it too soon to be like, he's like gonna bring us to these next levels and that? The only thing I will say is you got to try and bring players with him, because if you can bring like a Gyökeres and stuff with him, that's gonna be game changing. But like, I just don't know, man. I'm holding judge. I always hold reserve judgment for when I actually see him and come in and do stuff. But he plays like a free back, don't he?
Yes,
plays like a free back. Do you think he's going to do that at United though?
I think we're suited more to a back three because our wingers are crap, so that helps, and we have enough centre backs to play a back three too. So that's a help, and also our midfield issues. If you have another centre back, that helps with that situation. Again, no matter who the manager was coming in, no matter what formation he's needed, players were going to be needed. This is why we are where we are. Players are definitely needed. And you mentioned about Ten Hag being the guy last time. It could be the case. Let's say Amorim isn't as good as I think he is, and let's say he isn't as good as general consensus. Guess what? You get rid of him and you move on. That's what's going to happen. Same way when you date that girl and you get with her, you think she going to be the one. It might not turn out that way. So you date another girl and so forth and so forth. That's how I look at it. It's like Manchester United are the only club that have to get it right. Like we are trying to get it right, yeah, but hey, we move.
Yeah, no, I hear it because you never know. But how long did you give him though? And by the way, I was also wondering, does Van Nistelrooy stay as assistant?
I believe he's leaving. I've heard he's leaving. How true it is. I've heard he's leaving because Amorim's coming in with his guys. In regards to time is.
You'd expect that though. Why would Van Nistelrooy be Amorim assistant?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know, but why was he ever Ten Hag's assistant?
Because INEOS
they did that before Rodgers, by the way. When Rodgers had a really shit season, 14-15, before 15-16 started, they sacked all of Rodgers' assistants, kept him, brought in like 5 new assistants, and we were still crap. That's literally what happened. Then all of them, when Klopp came in, also went anyway. You get me? So like,
apart from Sam's favorite assistant manager, he's the only person who stayed. Yeah.
That blenders and that. It's crazy. But to answer your question, Cecilia Guna, in regards to, you mentioned how long do you give him? Time is earned not given. So forget process. I always look at progress. I'm looking at you to progress. If you stop progressing, or we stand still, or we go backwards, that's when I'll be critical. We have to continue to progress forward. I know you have to do for us to progress forward initially. Just implement the basics. That's all I'm looking for this season. Implement the basics, your tactics, a system, show some adaptability. That's what I'm looking for. I ain't even fussed about new players coming in January. That's not my MO whatsoever. Well, let's see what you can do with what we have, because as bad as these players are, as much as I'm critical, they're not this bad. They're not 14th.
They're not 14th bad.
They're not 14th bad.
They're not.
So get the most, again, manage. If you're as good as we think you are, as good as I think you are, you will do fine. If you're not, hey, we get the next manager. So I look at it.
It's funny because obviously United are 14th, but we're still quite early into the season, right? We're a quarter of the way through the season.
Absolutely.
I think they're 5 or 6 points off top 4. Now, obviously, as the season progresses, if it carries on at this rate, you're talking about a 20-point gap at the end of the season. But 5-6 points is definitely bridgeable now at this stage. And yeah, even if they don't get fourth, maybe they get fifth. With this extra Champions League place or whatever. I guess, and from what the rumours have been going about, they were talking to Amorim last week. So regardless of what was going to happen with this West Ham result, it looks like that was going to be by the by, and Ten Hag was going to be gone.
Can I ask a question, if you don't mind? Yeah. Why did this not happen 2 weeks sooner in the international break for us?
Because INEOS are incompetent, that's why.
Because
hold that. I don't want to talk about INEOS now because I want to make that specific segment. There's a lot to unpack about INEOS.
Okay.
Tell me first your thoughts on the Amorim thing, Ahmed, before we go to INEOS, because I feel like that is a specific segment where we have to just talk about how stupid they are.
Okay, fair enough. But like Amorim, I would have liked him at Chelsea. I said that before when we were looking for managers. Obviously, we've got Enzo Maresca, who's doing a very good job so far. So I won't hate on that. I think obviously back three-wise, in terms of the centre backs you have, I think that would definitely suit it. I do wonder though about the inside forwards. Like the guys are going to be playing the 10. Is it probably going to be like an Ahmed Diallo? I'm assuming, or a Bruno Fernandes. Then I don't know who your striker is going to be after that. But I just think for me, I think he's a good manager. I just question, the step of like, yes, he's taking this big step now. Is he going to be able to handle the United pressure? You know what I mean? That's like a big pressure. The thing about Ten Hag was, yeah, he did play his style of play initially for 2 games. He felt the heat, and he never returned to that again. You know what I mean? I'm looking at Ruben Amorim. Are you going to do? Is he going to be one of those type of guys that does something similar to that? Like, and you would like to hope that he doesn't do that, basically. So
of course
that's the thing for me. That's the thing for me that I would in regards to.
But that's unless we go and get a manager who's been at another top club. So we're saying Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. We'll throw Liverpool into there. We can throw Chelsea in there. You can throw Arsenal in there. Unless we're going for one of those clubs, the managers of this pressure's different. So you're right. But again, it ties back into what I just said previously. I think I've said it twice now, 3rd time. If he's as good as we think he is and as good as I think he is, he will be fine. If he's not and he reverts and he goes away from his tactics, guess what? It means he's not the guy. He might be good. And managers, it's okay. Managers are at certain levels. Certain managers are good, I think, like I mentioned Emery. I think Emery, when it comes to that 2nd tier level, is the guy. If you are just trying to be top 4, top 6 side in Europe, Emery's your guy, 110%. But if you're trying to break through that and you're talking Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues, which is the aim at Manchester United, there's very few managers that can deliver that. That's why there's very few managers who deliver that in general. Look at the managers who have won the Premier League. There's there's not a lot of them. And we've seen very, very good managers come here and not win it. So that's how I look at it in regards to it. If he can't handle the pressure, guess what? On to the next manager. Because someone will. We might be 4 or 5 managers away from the success. Maybe.
And look,
I'm hoping someone.
We've also in a situation, like we spoke about this when we were in the situation last year, and City fans will be experiencing it if Pep does leave this summer or next summer, whenever it is. There's going to be...
It's a hilarious comment. No, you, my G. I'm trying to laugh at the comment.
No, I can see it. That the elite manager, like Pep and Klopp and these guys, they're moving into different branches of their career. Maybe Pep is maybe going to go on to leave City. Maybe he's going to go international or do something else. Either way, he's going to leave City sooner rather than later. He said he's not going to be there for another 4 years. I would be surprised if he goes beyond this year. So now all of us are going to be looking for, or have been looking for, the next managers or who are going to make that step up to top level. Who is the next Pep, Klopp? I guess Xabi Alonso is obviously one of the guys that's been named. Mourinho, yeah, exactly. So these kind of elite level managers, and you've got, I guess Slot wasn't really talked about, although looking back, his body work was pretty impressive. Because Feyenoord hadn't won the Eredivisie for a long time. Amorim hadn't, Sporting hadn't won the what's it called, Premier
Portuguese League, yeah. I think it's 20 years or something. Was it something like that?
For quite a while. So there's going to be a little bit of a gamble, right? Because not all of these guys are, well, it'd be unlikely, but probably not all of these guys are going to get to that.
Exactly.
So all of us are taking a bit of a gamble. We're taking a little bit of a gamble with Slot. Like when we lose the core of that, the team that was built under Klopp, what's that rebuild going to be like? Is he going to be able to? Is Amorim? Obviously, he's been working with Hugo Viana as a sporting director. Now he's going into a new setup. Is the Man United setup going to be up to speed quick enough to support him, or is it going to take some while to put in place? At least with the guys that we have, there is like a bit of a structure in place. Some of these guys have worked with, so that's beneficial. But you guys have brought in good players who have got good backroom staff. Who've got a bit of a history. Chelsea have obviously tried to do that. They stole half of Brighton's backroom team.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. If you can't beat them, buy them. I guess.
Exactly, man. That's what you need to do, man. If you can't beat them, you got to get them to join you, man. That's what I say, man.
Yeah, which is the fair enough strategy. So it's going to be interesting for sure.
No, 100%. And what you said there is spot on. And all of these are question marks. Everything you said is valid about, can he make the jump? How does the backroom staff do? Are they up to speed? And I always say this, is it an extremely tough job to do? Absolutely an extreme, but you are paid extremely well to do extremely tough job. That's just what it is. Getting it right at Manchester United is no easy feat. That is not easy in the slightest. It's an extremely tough job to do. You are under immense pressure. You knew that going into it, and you are compensated. That's why you're a thousandaire. Some of them are millionaires. You lot ain't on minimum wage. You lot are paid extremely well to do it. Get it done.
Flawless. I've got a question for you, though. Yeah, how much can you realistically expect these guys, Amorim, to get out of some of these guys? Like, let's be real, some of these guys, bro. Yeah, with all due respect, you can say about some of them, even in my own team, previously when a certain manager came in at a certain time, are scrubs. Like, with all due respect, you know what I mean? Like, as in, like, how much can you realistically expect from him? Like, in terms of maybe league position, I know you was even saying you should probably get an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup. It's how much can you truly expect from Amorim until he gets maybe some of his own guys, if that makes sense.
If you're only as good as the individual players you have, guess what? You're not a good coach. If you're just relying on the give me or you the job, then if that's the case, and give us world-class players, and we'll do fine. You're a coach worth your salt. Like I keep saying, if you're as good as I think you are, and the general consensus is, you will be fine. Of course, Manchester United are not going to compete at the highest level with these players, but can you do better than Ten Hag? You should be able to do better than Ten Hag. He won 2 trophies, 3rd place finish. Yes, we finished 8th. We were 9 points off top 4. So therefore, because here's another thing, finishing in the top 6 and the top 4 more often than not in the Premier League is not that tough. We had our worst ever league season. We were 3 points off top 6. So you should be fine, even with these players. Because are these players capable? Yes. That's why they finished 3rd. That's why they finished 8th, 4th, 7th, 4th, 6th. Not all of them, but I'm saying in prior seasons. So yeah, I expect you to coach. The system is there. This is why Nottingham Forest are where they are in the table. You would call Nottingham Forest players scrubs, correct? Where Forest in the
not all of them.
A lot of them, yes.
Shut up, man. Who do you rate in the not? Who you taking at Chelsea from Nottingham Forest?
None of them currently, but
okay, then right then. So you think they're scrubs? Point taken. Point taken.
This
Ahmed, you're such a fraud. First of all, Sell starts for Chelsea because he's better than Sanchez. Second of all, Murillo starts for Chelsea.
I'm not a big fan of Murillo personally, but obviously Levi Cole was better. That's me.
Who's the attacker? He's alright.
To be fair,
Wood, Baron Wood. I don't know.
I agree with Flawless because I think they've got a good enough team. But I know you're saying they've got scrubs, but you're trying to I feel like that's nitpicking on a few players like Anthony and stuff. They've not got loads of scrubs, bruv. Like when we got Arteta, we had loads of scrubs. Like when you looked at our starting 11 and we had man like Mustafi and Socrates and Bellerin and these man, they're scrubs, bro. These men have De Ligt, they have Euro, they have Dalot, they have Mainu, they have Højlund, Xerxes. Bruno Fernandes. These man ain't scrubs, bro.
There's players
Like,
who that do a job. Players, a lot of our players. They're squad players. They can do a job.
And I think a lot of them have becomes like scrubs under their last manager, because I don't think many of them really like the manager like that. But I'll be honest, I think that a lot of them you're gonna see like 360s in their performances. I'm telling you now, like you're gonna see players that you thought are just dusty.
360s is back to the same spot, brother. It's called 180.
I'm saying 360s because
360. If you're here and you do a 360, you're here.
You're back in the same place, yeah.
Yeah,
So 180,
180, you're here.
180 then.
no, I mean like players from before he was there, bro.
Yes, this is you. If you do a 180, you go either here or here.
Yes, no, but I'm talking about players.
You do a 360, you go like this, and you're back here.
Wait. Sorry.
He was there.
Before you go, bro, that's 90 degrees, big man. If you're going from here to here, that's 90 degrees.
Yes, and go another 90. That's what 180.
That's 180, yeah. But you just did, in your
Go another 90.
Well,
no problem.
Come on,
Okay,
man.
Look at his arm round.
You want to talk quadrant? Stop, Ahmed. Don't embarrass us engineers. You go 90 degrees.
I'm just letting you
Okay,
know.
you're here. Okay, 1 second, because you ain't gonna out-engineer me. You're here. You go 90 degrees, you're here. You go 180 degrees, you're here. 270, you're here. In the third quadrant.
You did, but no.
Can I explain it? Can I explain it, or can I keep
Can I
waffling?
explain my bit though, Hussam?
Stop.
No, because you're trying to sell me. No, because you're trying to sell me down the river on something that I didn't mean. Because you
360 degrees is literally back in the same spot.
Yes, no. Hear me,
Guys.
bro. I'm talking about players. Yeah,
180 is where it changes.
Yes, I'm talking about players that were good before Ten Hag, and then when he come in, they turn 180 and they were crap all of a sudden, and now they're gonna go back to how they.
That's not what you meant,
how they
but
were
okay,
before.
I'll let
It
you have
is,
it.
bro, like Rashford and stuff, bro. Because he had that good season under him, but these man ain't that dead, bro. Like some of the players that they had, that when the players Ten Hag brought in, you can't say that because he brought them Anthony. These man, I can't imagine them even being good under this.
Half
new
the
manager.
squad,
You've
10
got to
half
get them.
squad technically, bro.
Guys, welcome to the Trigonometry channel.
That's all well and good, but like I said, whether like these players can do a job, this is why they've done what they've done. This is why we've outperformed Chelsea in the past 2 seasons. What are we talking about here? Since Ahmed wants to pipe up, we've had more successful seasons than it. We've had more successful seasons than it is.
Win a Carabao Cup and FA Cup, mate. If that's success,
No, yeah, but that's what
That
I'm saying.
that is success. What we talking about? That is success.
that is success for you, but for me, I don't consider that success.
Okay, so how many? So when's the last time Chelsea had success then? This is
I would argue
crazy.
For me, I would argue the UCL season's been my successful season.
So that's the only. So you've not had a successful season in 3 years.
Not really, no. And I think that's
Alright, cool.
factually proven. That's factually proven by where we've actually been at currently 12th,
That's
6th, and now where we are.
Again, I value trophies over here, but hey ho, we move. Yeah, but we move.
Okay,
Here we
before
are.
we get into INEOS, let me just do a couple of these super chats. Pick up the panel, flawless in a lighted room. Ten Hag had him in darkness. Good to see he survived.
Nah, you know what it is about my sisters. That's why I'm in this room. About my sisters. But
You
big
need to
up to
stream
them,
from
so.
it more because it shows the light is shining on you.
Yes.
You know, a bit more. It's a
Nah,
lot
I
better
think
lighting than your own room.
more. You don't like flawless happy, man. It's too much, man. You're trying to
I
kill
was
me.
happy. Hey, I'd be happy in the darkness
me-
yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But yo, we move.
Big up to you, Terence. Thank you so much for the super chat. Big up to Nafisa who says, open the schools. Listen, this fraud Ahmed interrupts me because he knows I'm right. Raks knows I'm right as well. That's why he agreed.
All
There are
right,
four.
man. Certain
Okay,
man
see
don't need
how
to go back to-
he interrupts me.
You know what I mean?
Guys, there are 4 quadrants. The 90th quadrant, the 180th quadrant, the 270th quadrant, and the 360th quadrant. The 360th quadrant is also the 0 quadrant, meaning if you go 360 degrees, you go back to exactly where you started. Quick math. That's how it goes.
What in the Big Bang Theory is going on here, man? This is
Nah,
like Sheldon versus Raj, man. This is Sheldon versus Raj,
Maybe I'll
man.
explain it to you using this. Look how basic it is. This is the cigarette, right? I'm currently at 0 degrees. If I do this, I'm at 90 degrees. Very simple. If I do this, I'm 180 degrees. If I do this, I'm 270 degrees. If I do this again, I'm 360. I'm back to where I started, yakhi. Quick math, yakhi. Now that Ahmed is gone, we've explained it. As a Chelsea fan, hearing Arsenal saying Anthony Taylor has agenda against them is quite ironic. They forgot he was the ref in the 2 FA Cup finals against us. Anthony Taylor is a shit referee. You get me? That's literally a shit referee right there. And I think he should never referee a big game again. However, I do not think, you get me? I do not think that there is an agenda against Arsenal. Like, I think the agenda is City always get decisions their way. That's the true agenda right there. Big up to you, my guy, Sheikh Hasina. And Papa Beard says, you don't even rate Amorim Hussam, you're laughing inside.
Hey, I
This is
forgot
how
to
I
ask you.
know. This is how I know you're an anjing, and I'm insulting in your own language. The reason why you're an anjing, Papa Beard, is after Xabi Alonso said no, Flawless worked with me back again. Who did I want at Liverpool? Flawless?
Yeah, you said Amorim. You mentioned.
I wanted Amorim.
Yeah, you did
That's
mention
why
Amorim.
I'm mad. Because I didn't want them to get Amorim. I was praying they get Southgate. They ended up getting Amorim. So this is unfortunately bad news for us. And the difference with the Ten Hag thing is the following. Ten Hag won the league at Ajax. That would be the equivalent of winning the Portuguese league with Porto or Benfica. This guy won it with Sporting, which is the equivalent of winning it with a Feyenoord, who haven't won a league title in 20 years. And he rebuilt his team, sold all his best players, and won the league again 2 years later. That's the impressive part. Fraud. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single one of you guys, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. 200 likes is the target, Habibis. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe right here, right now. 200 likes. Let's do it. And go subscribe to all these guys' channels as well. Now, the INEOS part. And this is the thing I want to present to Flawless and the rest of you guys before you... Here's the thing that we have to talk about. Listen. If you wanted to get someone who plays 3 at the back from the beginning, why not get him last summer instead of signing a bunch of Ten Hag players? And now he has to come in and work with all these players. Had you just gotten Amorim from the start in the summer, you would have gotten a right wing back, a left wing back, maybe a different striker option, shit like that. You know, I think if he was, I genuinely believe if Amorim was manager, the only 2 players I say that United would have probably signed anyway is Yoro and Ugarte. I don't think Amorim signs the rest of them from last summer. Flawless, they have built the club in the image of Ten Hag and continue to build the club in the image of Ten Hag. What needs to change from INEOS' perspective to save this shit?
I don't know if they can change, because you just mentioned it there. That's just incompetence. This is why I'm not jumping up and down praising INEOS. Before, obviously, I know Ahmed mentioned it before as well. But yeah, like, I've been critical of them from the jump all the way up until now. Yes, do I believe we had a good window? Yeah, I like the window we had. But the way they dealt with the managerial side of things was absolutely horrendous. It was disgraceful, the way they dealt with it. And our fan base let it slide because it was INEOS. Because if the Glazers had done exactly what INEOS had done from February up until that point, we would have slaughtered them. And rightfully so. But because it was INEOS, it was give them time. Forget all that. I don't give you credit for putting out fires that you started. This was easily salvageable. This was a situation that was easy. You could not mess this up. How do you fail a test and the teacher gave you the answers and you still failed? That's how I look at this. You had all the answers. Get rid of Ten Hag, get your guy in, and that would have gave you at least the season. Whether it was Amorim, whether it was Tuchel, whether it was whoever else, because we was that low as a fan base. And because we was coming off the season we was coming off. Because we had our worst ever Premier League finish, worst ever Champions League campaign. The bar was literally in the ground. We're on the floor, it was in the ground. All you had to do was just sack the manager, hire a new manager, have a decent window, which you did, and get us up and running however you want. So yeah, then with Amorim, as much as I like the Amorim deal, as much as I like the efficiency it's been done, it's like, you caused this. People want to give them credit for putting the fire out. You caused the fire. What are we talking about? You poured petrol on it. Like, so yeah, with that, I'm still looking at them funny because I've not been a fan of them from the jump. And even though they've done something, I'm balanced. I can still be critical of you but praise you. Same way a bad player can have a good game. I'll say he had a good game. Doesn't mean I rate him as a player. So that's how I look at it in regards to INEOS. They're incompetent, but this one, good deal.
This can be debunked very quickly, Ashwin.
Go on, you debunk
Slot
it.
was announced in March. So Amorim wasn't waiting for Liverpool because he announced either in April or March. Second of all, when it comes to West Ham, Amorim rejected West Ham or West Ham rejected Amorim. Doesn't matter because point is he was available. He had to apologize because he went to meet West Ham in the middle of a Sporting Lisbon title race. So don't give me excuses. INEOS could have gotten Amorim this summer if they wanted to. Yes. This is just the reality of the situation. Yes. Go and check the facts. He had to apologize to Sporting Lisbon fans because he went to interview with West Ham during a title race. So this shows that he was actively seeking a different club. Now with the Manchester City, why the hell would he replace Pep Guardiola? So he obviously wasn't waiting for Manchester City. And Liverpool announced slot a month before that. The FA Cup final was what, mid-May? Like May 16th, May 17th, whatever it is. Mid-May. So you literally a day after you could have gotten Amorim if you wanted to. That's just the reality.
And I would also add, I'll let you go, right? Go ahead, brother.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to come up with a slightly contrary point. Obviously, they didn't have your sporting director in place at that point. You didn't have your CEO in place at that point. I know they said that they were doing some kind of internal review. Maybe and I'm sure they would have got the results for that. But I can understand why they would have been a bit reluctant. And you had a good performance in the FA Cup. Don't get me wrong. There were clear negative reasons to get rid of Ten Hag as well. All I'm saying is that I don't think it was completely cut and dry. And within fan bases, we have different, factions of fans, and some are more patient. Some will have inevitably said, if you did get rid of him, because we saw it after you got rid of Louis van Gaal, and they said that was harsh. He got sacked in the tunnel after you won the FA Cup and all that kind of stuff. People came out and said it then. So I can understand why they was like, look, we're making decisions now, not for the next 6 months. We're making decisions now for the next 6 years. And I can understand why they would have taken a step back, say, look, let's see how things go at the start of next season. Even if it doesn't go well, we can always make that change. We're Man United. To some extent, you've got to believe in yourself. And as it has turned out, they've made that.
Well, my only question for you, Raks, is why keep him and then sign all his players again? It didn't work anyway the year before.
Because of incompetence, because I debunked the myth about the whole FA Cup, because people have said this, and this is another myth. Oh, they kept him because of the FA Cup. They kept him because of the letter. No, they didn't, because they all actively agreed to get rid of him. This is why we interviewed Thomas Tuchel. Yes, so they've all agreed. It's not the FA Cup. It's not the letter, because they've all agreed unanimously we are getting a new manager. Then they failed to do the Tuchel deal. So then it's kind of like, what changed?
I think before you guys continue this debate quickly, Giuseppe has to leave the stream. Big up to you, Giuseppe. So we're going to make a quick substitution. Italy out of the Euros, you get me, and Turkey is in, you get me. Man like TK is joining us. Big up to you, TK. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you, brother. Big up to you. Thank you, Giuseppe, for joining us, guys. Sicilian Gunner TV is in the description. Big up to you, man. Appreciate it.
Before I go, he's got a camera now, yeah.
You might carry on one second.
Yeah, bro.
But I actually wanted to what's it called? Just to back up point Raks slightly. I just think, okay, let's say they wanted to bring in directors, their guys in. The question I would have is, it's international break, you know what I mean? So like, why not do it then? Like, that's the question I have. Like, why wait for the result against Brentford, then the Europa League result, and then obviously the result they got in the league? For me, for me, that's where I actually think it becomes pointless, because it's like, okay, it didn't happen this summer, we move, but in that international break in October, that's when it should have really changed. You allowed the manager to come in, you give him actually a little bit of time to get to know the players, and maybe give 1 or 2 tactical changes that he could, and then you continue from there.
And I get that point, but it sounds like this decision had been made last week, because there was talk about them having met Amorim last week. So maybe they've given him a game after the international break, and ultimately there's another international break coming in 2 weeks' time, right? So like, I understand. Don't get me wrong. You're making points, but I think right now United are 5-6 points out of the top 4 or 5 positions. That gap is still closable. They're not out of that hunt. Obviously, if it goes to 9 points, if it goes to 12 points, 15 points, it becomes a lot more insurmountable. And I think there is something to be said for fans who are less, I don't say reactionary, but fans who are more prone to giving managers time. There is something that says that we've given. Look how much extra time we've given. All these the other elements of the fan base wanted them gone sooner. Sometimes every defeat, every bad result means that those fans that are more patient lose a little bit more patience, and maybe they wanted to give them as much time as going away to West Ham and losing like you did.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Just one question: was it the right decision for them to keep him in the summer?
Well, okay, with retrospect, no, but I can understand.
So it wasn't. So there we go.
But you can only make your decision at that point in time. So at that point in the summer,
we knew what was on the horizon. We all knew what was on the. Anyone with 2 eyeballs and a brain knew what was on the horizon. What we talking about? Why are we giving him a blind?
Why? But what I'll say is, look, every scenario has to be dealt with in its own merits. But
yes,
and so I'm going to give the Mikel Arteta example, because but every manager needs to be taken on his own merits. Just because it works for Mikel Arteta It doesn't mean it's going to work for Ten Hag. Doesn't mean it's going to work.
It's not work for neither, but I hear your point.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that. But I'm
What do you
saying
mean,
most.
Dan? That's facts.
But I think most Arsenal fans now would say that it was right to keep Arteta.
No, I don't think I disagree. I disagree with that. And I'm a United fan. Keeping Arteta wasn't the right idea.
Okay, I've got friends who are Arsenal fans.
I know them too. Yeah.
Of course. But I think the people that I know, and obviously maybe match buying fans is a slightly different element as well. Most people I think are happy with Arteta. There may be an element of
hey, let me ask you, Raj. Do you think it was the right decision for them to keep Arteta?
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
Right now,
Do you think Arteta is good enough to win them a Premier League?
I think Arsenal are one of the best 3 or 4 teams in Europe.
Do you believe that he's good enough to? Do you believe he's good enough, Raj, to win them a Premier League?
I hope not. But I can't.
No, forget the hope.
No, but I can't say.
Do you think he is?
No, but I can't say no with 100% conviction. I can't say no. He's definitely not.
And you can't say yes with 100% conviction either.
But
so you have your doubts.
But there are no.
But there's no guarantees. But you wouldn't accept that at Liverpool though. You wouldn't accept a manager that you are 50-50 on.
No, but I can't say for certain Slot is the guy.
No, you're not saying no. I'm not saying Slot is the guy. No, I'm saying you wouldn't accept that at Liverpool. You would not accept a manager who's been there 5 years who you're 50-50 on. No, exactly, Raj. You wouldn't. Neither would you, Ahmed. You wouldn't accept a manager at Chelsea that you're 50-50 on.
I want to actually go back to our point before.
Bro, these guys never finish 8th. They finished 6th with Poch, and they're all Poch out here.
Can I just say? So Liverpool not so long ago went through a similar situation. So we went through a long period of time after post Benitez, 5-6 years. We were pretty shit, right? We went through Roy Hodgson, we went through Brendan Rodgers. We had a season where we challenged and a season where we dropped off and failed miserably. And at that point, we had managers who went into their 4th and 5th seasons, and we weren't sure whether they were going to compete, right? Benitez, he went after his 5th season, for example. Gerard Houllier before that went on his 4th or 5th season, right? They brought us a certain degree of success, but towards the end of it, it was on downturn. I understand what you're saying, and everyone's going to have a different opinion.
I know what I'm saying, Raj.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is that I don't think it's clear cut to say that Arteta's not going to be good enough.
But you don't believe he's good enough.
I think he could be. I don't know.
Could be. You don't believe he is because if Klopp was there at Liverpool, wait, hold up. Before you go, when Klopp was at Liverpool, you was convinced he'd bring you success, correct? There came a point where Klopp's reign where you was like, he's going to bring you success. Not 100%, but you was fairly convinced. Maybe 80-90%, correct?
I mean, Klopp, but I think, again, we're talking about a different breed of manager now because we're not talking
Okay, so the caliber of manager matters. That's the point that I'm making. Klopp's a better caliber of manager. You don't think, you're answering the question without wanting to answer the question. Different caliber of manager, I get it, man. I get it, Raj.
But there is no other Klopp or Pep out there.
So there's never going to be a manager again as good as Pep or Klopp ever.
No, but that's different. Never. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. But
so there's never going to be. No, I'll tell you there is going to be 100%. There'll be a Pep or Klopp in the future.
There will be, but finding who that Pep or Klopp is before they become Pep or Klopp.
So should you not try and find him?
But that's what Arsenal have done with Arteta, right? They obviously
he's not it because you don't think he's been there 5 years. Forget that, Raj. I'm asking you. Forget what Arsenal think. I'm asking you. You don't believe in him, and he's been there half a decade.
But I'm saying I don't know.
But you believed in Klopp after half a decade at Liverpool. Why is that?
But Klopp had, first of all, Liverpool's a different club in the sense that he galvanised Liverpool as a city, not just as a football club, right?
Is he not galvanising North London?
And straight away, yeah, I think so. I mean, my Gunnar brother there,
Gunnar Dunn will tell. Yeah, absolutely.
But also, the difference between Klopp was every year Klopp had an improvement. Right?
Yes.
First season we finished 6th and we got to the Europa League final.
Absolutely.
We lost. Next season we didn't have any European football. We got to the Champions League final. So we got to the top 4. Next year we got to the top 4 again and we got Champions League final. The following season we won the Champions League. The following year we won the league. So there was like a very clear. With
you
Arteta,
had belief in him after 5 years. To my point, you don't have belief in Arteta now. Why is that so hard to admit? You had faith in Klopp after 5 years. You don't have faith in Arteta after 5 years because Arteta's not good enough. Why don't we just say it? Why can't we just call a spade a spade?
No, but I think the more pertinent question is: Are Arsenal better off sticking or twisting?
They're not better off sticking because they ain't gonna. You don't believe they're gonna win anything with him.
No,
You don't believe it.
I don't think it's clear cut. I don't.
You don't believe it. You don't believe it, Raj,
If
because if you believed it, you'd say, what are we talking about?
If I was an Arsenal fan now, stick or twist, I would stick.
Why, when you don't believe in him?
I'd stick, but I'd say this is your last season to win.
You don't believe in him? Okay, so let me kill this dead. Raj, do you have Arsenal winning the league this season?
I think they have a chance.
Do you have them? You did predictions at the start of the season? Who did you have number one spot?
I had City.
Okay, so you don't think we got there? So you don't think Arsenal are going to win this league this season? So why are we sticking? Why are we sticking? Why are we sticking?
No, but
Come on,
I
man.
actually do think Arsenal are going to win the league.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, see,
You do, because you're
Hassan's a
you.
troll. Hassan's a troll. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, Hassan likes Arsenal. He likes pissing off Chelsea
Osama's
fans
not
as
a
well.
troll, you fucking fraud.
No, you're a fraud with that,
Troll,
which I
yeah.
respect. I do the same shit with Spurs, so I get it. You do it with Arsenal, I do it with Spurs.
No, I'm not.
I get it. I get it.
Agendas again. Yeah,
I get it, yo.
We get you, man.
Guys, I apologize.
Here the-
I predicted the team to come in second. They're gonna finish first. When the team finished first, don't even have Rodri, who was Balon d'Or winner. Flawless
You know,
is right.
but you know, actually,
Season.
yeah.
Ahmed, can you respect this guy? Spent £2 of hard-earned money. Can you respect him?
Steve
For
House,
either
man.
pick up Terence. Flawless is right. This is Arteta's sink or swim season. Come on, you guys. This is my point. This season, and I'm even outdoing the Standards FC, because Standards FC say FA Cup or Carabao Cup, he stays. I'm saying fuck all of that, bro. Premier League or Champions League or khalas, they should sack him. And at the end of this season, I will be shaking hands with every Arteta outer if they don't win anything major this season. And I mean fucking major.
And the crazy part is, outside of a portion of the Arsenal fan base, nobody thinks they are going to win a Premier League or Champions League. So why keep him? Make that make sense. I haven't met anyone that's not an Arsenal fan that believes Arteta is going to win the Premier League or Champions League. But when I say it, call me a United fan, it sounds wild. Raj just don't want to say it, but he did his prediction. He don't have them winning the Premier League or Champions League. So
Look
why
at
stick?
Raks. Why? Look at Raks. Why? Look.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah, like, listen, I agree
Go
with
on.
this take, yeah, but some people would say to you, like, or they'll be like to you, Flawless, is it necessarily because of him that they're not winning the league, or is it because of the outside context, whether it be maybe some of the players are making mistakes, or the other teams that are around him are just too, good in sense of like the players they have, and maybe even the managers they have, for example.
It's not, of course, it's not solely on him, but does he play his part? Yes, because if they win the league this season, who's taking the majority of the praise? The players and Arteta. So how come when they fail, it's like, oh, it's everything else? Man spent 600, 700 million.
Honestly, ultimately, if you're the manager, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. This is a cutthroat business. And if you don't,
not with you, Raj. This ain't cutthroat, man. Let him stick. You know what I'm saying? Give him 5 more years after this joke, man.
But I'm saying,
Flawless is being prime block press, man.
Because you know what it is? People just stay honest. It's okay to say, hey, you know what? He's done a very good job, which I think he's done a very good job there. Arteta's better than I expected him to be. General consensus, he's better. Is he good enough to get them over the line? No. You on top of the table for 93% of the league and didn't win it. What more do you need? And we know Arsenal and Europe don't mix. So what are we talking about? No one has them there winning the Champions League or the Premier League. Why can't we say it? Why is there an elephant in the room to say it? Please, someone explain.
Also, it depends on how you look at the... Also, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, my guy.
Big up, TK.
Blessings.
Also, congratulations for being free after all this time. I'm sorry that my country brought you all this pain. But hey, it is what it is. We move. What I'm trying to say is depends on what you want Arteta to do at Arsenal right at this moment in time, because Arsenal was at a place where the team was absolutely disgusting. We had some players that never should have been at Arsenal in the first place, and he came here and I'm not gonna say he fixed everything, but he came and he proved the team at least. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And yes, there can be a situation where he could not be enough to win us the league. I can hear completely where you're coming from. But I can see, because I've said this before, Hossam knows this, I can see this being the Brendan Rodgers of Arsenal, that he sets up the team, we just bring in a few new parts, when we bring in a new manager, and he could bring us over the line. If Arteta is not the guy. I'm just feeling that the team is just this close to being that team. I'm just, like you said, I personally am questioning Arteta as well, if he's the guy that is going to bring us over the line. But he definitely did improve the team. He improved the mentality. He improved, how should I say, the players are way more disciplined than what we've used to, because normally Arsenal was that kind of team where if we go 1-0 behind, the team just gives up.
It was a wrap. Yeah.
And
I-
now
Yeah.
we can see that we have resilience, we have way better mentality. It's just the question is the good job that he did, will it be enough to win us the league? And for me, if you ask my opinion about this situation, this is his last chance for me. I did not agree with the contract extension this year. I thought it was really premature. I feel
See?
like the
The
results
Arsenal
that
fan gets it. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
this season's results should have
Can you stop
been.
gegenpressing? Raks is a nice guy, please.
But no, the different. There's a different. Okay, there is a difference.
That's the flawless gegenpress right there. I've been on the end of those.
I-
Trust me.
I-
It's
I will-
not even
I-
a
I- but I
gegenpress.
will-
It's
I will
just
say-
the whole. The
I
Arsenal
don't
fan.
think-
Sorry, I didn't catch
I
his
don't-
name. Said, "Hey, I don't agree with the contract
Okay.
extension," which is fair. Like, I don't get why that is such a wild statement.
Here's the thing with the
Before you
Arsenal
go for
fan.
Sam, Arteta's done a good job. I agree. I think Arteta's done a good job. I think Arsenal are not that far away. As a Manchester United fan, I'm happy they kept Arteta, because I legit think they're probably 2 free players and a manager away from legitimately winning this league. I think they're that close. They are probably a striker, a midfielder, and a manager away. That's too close for comfort, because it's the closest Arsenal have been in a long, long time. I don't like that. So that's why I hope they keep Arteta.
But this is what. There's two sides to this. First of all, I think the Brendan Rodgers comparison, whilst on the surface it makes some sense, it's different, because Brendan Rodgers' success in that season where we challenged for league was 90% built on arguably the best Premier League individual season that we've ever seen. Luis Suarez that season was on a different level. Was on a different level. So I think, and as soon as Suarez went, you saw Suarez went, Sturridge got injured, and then we're left playing Raheem Sterling, 18-year-old. Like Arsenal, we will see.
I honestly think Poch is a better
injuries.
example, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, and then second of all, Arsenal.
Yeah, but
over
Raks,
the last-
even if you keep him, why buy all those players? Why?
One question. I just want one last thing about Arsenal, because we're supposed to be talking about United. We're as rival fans over the last 20 years, Arsenal have taken an incredible amount of shit from us. Right? They have been the butt of everybody's jokes. We have all laughed at them in their faces. We all have friends who are Arsenal fans. We've all ripped out of them the fact that they fail miserably. As soon as they go behind, they collapse. All this kind of stuff. Now, if Arsenal do get over the line, the reason why so many people are invested in the fact that they don't want Arsenal to get over the line, because they know if Arsenal do get over the line, and we've already saw it, we've already seen it to some extent, right? Even the limited success they've had, they've been coming for people. The stuff that's been, and obviously none of us want to take it. I remember when Liverpool won the league, right? People were saying, you're never going to win the league, 20 years, 30 years, blah, blah, blah. And even when we won the league, what did they say? Only one Premier League in the last 30 years, right? They said, you haven't won it for 30. Oh, no. So the goalposts will shift. So people don't want Arsenal to win, understandably so. But what I'm saying, trying to be neutral about it, I think getting rid of Arteta
neutral
right now.
You like Arsenal?
No. I'm trying to be like unbiased.
He means objective.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, first. Yeah. I can objectively say it. Like when I say it, because my bias against Arsenal and my objectiveness are separated. I'm sat here saying I want them to keep Arteta because they won't be successful under him as a Manchester United fan. My objective approach is, why are you keeping this manager when you're this close?
Yeah,
that's what don't make no sense to me. But hey, I hope they keep him. I hope the board have your thoughts, and they seem to. So I'm with it.
Big up, Zir. I'm with you, bro. Listen, this is a flawless gegenpress 100%. And I know, because I was on the receiving end of 15 gegenpresses every week from Battle of the North.
It was counter-attack. Don't do that. It was a counter-attack.
That's like Ten Hag.
Can we just collectively blame Matisse? It was Matisse's fault.
Blame Matisse. We'll blame Matisse.
It's all Matisse's fault. But here's the thing. Even if you keep Ten Hag, and Ahmed, sorry for interrupting, I know, but I just wanted to land this point. Even if you keep Ten Hag, and Raks is right, hypothetically, give him a last chance. One thing that you should have done in the summer, even if you wanted to give him a last chance, is build a club in the image of your club. Don't build a club in the image of Ten Hag. Because now what screwed Man United is, this is the decision-making that makes no sense. We like Amorim. We're going to hire a manager that plays 3 at the back, right wing back, left wing back. And before that, we're going to go sign Mazraoui, we're going to sign Delict, we're going to sign Xerxes. and we're gonna sign Ugarte. But before that, what you did made no sense. How are those two things connecting? If you wanted to get Ruben Amorim from the beginning and you were not convinced about Ten Hag, go get Ruben Amorim and let Ruben Amorim in the summer buy fucking Ruben Amorim players that work in his system. Mo is a fraud. We all agree. Footy judge Mo, biggest fraud.
Absolutely, absolutely.
He gave a perfect example earlier. He's like, Simeone Inzaghi plays with 2 strikers. That's the Simeone Inzaghi system. Inter have 0 wingers. They literally have 5 strikers, 2 starting and 3 on the bench. If you gave Arsenal Simeone Inzaghi, where the fuck is Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, all these guys gonna play? Unless they reinvent their game and play in the 10, they won't have a place to play in the team. And this is where the point lands with Amorim. Now you have a 3 at the back manager that's a completely different system, and you're giving them all Ten Hag players. By definition, there will be players who can't start, who can't play, who can't exist in the system. The likes of your Rashford, Garnacho, all these guys. A lot of them might not even play, bro.
Good.
Like this.
I don't want to see them seagrass.
Yeah.
They can leave. I'm with it. I'm
that is
cool with that.
INEOS
Where is
perfect,
Rashford
bro.
playing?
INEOS
I don't even know
perfect.
where Rashford's gonna play in the system, bro. What? Left
Hey,
wing back, Rashford?
bench. That's where he gonna
Left wing
play.
back, Rashford?
Bench.
I'm
You know
here
what
for
I'm
left wing
saying?
back, Rashford. I can't lie to you.
Bench.
If Tuchel made Pulisic a wing back, yeah, I can see that.
Hey,
happening.
he can't be a worse left wing back than he is a left winger. So hey, let's see what's what. But yo, you man, I got a dip. Love to you all. Big up the chat. Hassan, bless up for having
Big
me.
up,
Big up
flawless.
everyone in
Big
the
up.
panel. Run up the likes, hit the subscribe button. Bless up to you, man. Yeah, bless.
Big
man.
up, guys. Sarcasm City TV is in the description. Please go subscribe to Sarcasm City TV. Big up to you, my brother Flawless. Big up to Giuseppe as well. Giuseppe has daddy duties, guys. That's why I had to leave. And obviously, Flawless has a show as well. So big up to him. Big up to Zir, Terence, Sheikh Hasina. Big up to Nafisa, Papa Beer, Terence. And open the schools. I was right. This guy just denied it. And he embarrassed the engineer excellency. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Let's get to 300 likes ASAP. And listen, moving on from this United topic, because I do want to talk Arsenal, I do want to talk Chelsea. These are the 2 clubs I want to talk about now. You get me as we reach the 90th minute mark. Not 360 degrees, because you're just the same position. Arsenal, Chelsea, Saka, Palmer. The question now is handed to TKA. We had this debate earlier on, and it's about Saka winning the Balon d'Or.
What?
Obviously,
Okay.
guys, chill. It's a question, Rax. It's a question.
Okay.
You just argued with Flawless over keeping Ten Hag, and you're gonna act like that. This is a worse.
I know, but I just don't see any. How did we arrive at the question? That's what I'm interested
What
in.
is the correlation there, man?
Because the Balon d'Or ceremony was 2 days ago.
Okay.
With all due respect, when you've got Dovbik in the fucking top 30, you can have a conversation about someone else winning it. Now, English players winning the Balon d'Or. Same with Jude as well. TKA, how could Saka take his game to that level? And same question for Ahmed as well, regarding his own star boy. Go ahead.
I think Saka has been doing that already. No, it's hard to say because Saka has been improving every season as a player and also with his numbers as well. But going to that next level, bro, that's a loaded question. It's a hard one to answer with a system that we play because he gets limited a lot. I feel like, and if we limit him and his freedom, he cannot flourish. And if he cannot flourish, then halas, how will he go to that next level? It's my question. You know what I'm saying? So it's only a question of will Arteta give him that freedom, or will the next manager that comes in to Arsenal make him go to that next level? Basically, that's the biggest question.
You answer the question with a question.
Yes.
He's basically saying Saka needs to be unchained. Is what he's saying basically. You know what I mean? Unchaining Saka. Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
But
I feel like he's being held back, and Palmer, with all due respect, I do not want to interrupt you, by the way. With all due respect to Chelsea and what they did last year and the years before, Saka never got the same freedom as Palmer. And now Palmer is flourishing under that freedom. Maybe not now with Maresca, because Maresca has been playing a more stricter system. But I feel like if Saka got the same freedom, he could have had those numbers as well, because I think he has the talent to be that good.
If you were in Saka's place, would you move to Real Madrid at the end of the season if Arsenal win nothing?
Of course.
I appreciate the honesty because I'm the same with my player. I say if I'm in Trent's position, I'd move to Madrid as well. I can't lie
Yeah.
to you. There's no need for us to lie.
Bro, same
And I
same
pre-
with Saliba, same with other players. If we don't win when you're a big club, quote unquote, and you don't win in 4 years, at some point players will get sick of it and go to
Exactly.
teams where they actually win stuff, because they want to fill their CV, personal accolades as well, bro. It's not only about the culture and, oh, I love this club. No, bro. People want to win at the end of the day. You do it for silverware, and at some point you will get sick of it.
Ahmed, are you going to talk about your star boy or you
Yeah,
wanna
sorry.
dodge the
I
question?
just received a
dodge
package.
the-
My apologies, right?
Food again?
D-
I have some
D-
shit.
DVD
I
at
didn't
this
have any
time.
food, bro. Yeah, I actually did get DVD delivery actually. I just have by accident once. I don't know why I did that, but no, on a serious note, I think with Palmer, I just think he's getting the numbers. I still feel he'll still get the numbers. He's in some level of freedom as it is right now, in my personal opinion. I just think again, just making sure you repeat is the first thing. I think secondly, obviously, I think for him, if he wants to win the Ballon d'Or, the next step is just going to be winning a title. I think you can always make the similar argument even for Saka, which is helping his team win a title, be maybe one of the main guys. And once you do that, and then maybe the thing of the Ballon d'Or, they also look at your international stuff. In my personal opinion, too, if he's one of those guys that helps push England to win their first ever, Euros, or whether it be the second World Cup, then I think for me, that pretty much all but guarantees you the Ballon d'Or.
Would you leave to Real Madrid if you're in Cole Palmer's place?
I actually don't. I don't think right now though. No, I could see it.
The question, but is different for you. If you don't finish in top 4 positions, would you go to Real Madrid?
I think it depends on the context. If it's like we're basically just like crash out, everything like that, I could see the argument of him moving over to Real Madrid. I think that's a fair point. But if it's like intimate circumstances and something like maybe it's because of like we have a major injury crisis and stuff like that. But before that we're cooking and we're doing well, then I think if I'm Palmer, I would probably stick with the team.
Okay. Here's the thing that I want to say regarding this conversation. The last English player to win the Balon d'Or was Michael Owen. Now, Michael Owen scored about 7,000 goals that season. And we won about 5 different trophies. That's the only way that the whole world was convinced to vote for an English player. I want to ask you all a question. People keep saying Vinicius was robbed, right?
He wasn't.
Why
robbed.
was Jude Bellingham not robbed? Can I ask the $1 million question?
Oh.
No, so no one's gonna talk. Yeah, well done, guys. Good process. Pick up everyone.
Listen, man. We're not gonna do this, bro. Like he had
In March, Jude Bellingham was the favorite to win Ballon d'Or. Everyone remember that.
Like, I'll be real, man.
March.
His performances here towards the end of the season, and then even in the Euros, I would say were not good. Like from a performance standpoint, he wasn't playing well. So like that's why he wasn't robbed. Like he had a really, really great start to the season, right? Let's not get in the golden assist, but after that he petered off. His performances then meandered for a little while, and then in the Euros, his performances were not good enough.
Damn.
Yes. Listen, man, that's why I'm an engineer.
Big English word.
There
and
you
shit.
go.
So,
Write that down in your book.
You know what I mean?
Meandered. Let me
Yeah,
Google
so-
what that means.
Yeah, Hussam's that's gonna be in his the next video is gonna be his title.
Meandered.
Chelsea meander to a draw.
Oh,
in the Carabao Cup.
Off a river or a road, follow a winding course. Wander at random is basically what it means. Kids meandered in and out. Okay, fair enough. Meandered. Let's
why am
go.
I
Go
getting
ahead.
tested for my English? What's going on? But anyway,
You're not getting this. I'm learning a new word, fraud.
sorry, my
Yeah, I'm
apologies.
literally learning the word. How many
Listen,
words
I-
did Raks taught me?
Listen, I remember I was in the early days. I was in the languages space with Hussam once. We were like multilingual people from all over the world talking about the different languages. That was a bad one. I don't know how we ended up there. I think I entered it just because Hussam was there. I'm like, what is this fraud talking about? Let me listen to this. And it was actually quite funny.
No, but like I just think again with him, with the Jude argument, I just said, as I said before, had a hot start, went cold, and then didn't really recover, in my personal opinion, when it comes to Jude Bellingham. Like, and I think with Vinicius, my issue with Vinicius here is that I know people have been doing this thing of Mateta got more DNA than him. I don't think that's necessarily even a problem. I think for me the issue is here. yes, he did well at Real Madrid, but when it comes to international football, because like, listen, when it's an international, yeah, the Balon d'Or counts that quite a bit too. You've seen that obviously of what happened to Messi last
Yeah,
year.
but Brazil were trash on the Copa, so how was he?
But no, that's why I'm agreeing with you, Sam. I'm saying like his performances for Brazil, even when he's not even a Copa, when he's a regular, like in between tournament, he's so bad. Like it's like I'm looking at Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. I'm looking at like a star boy at Real Madrid, and then at Brazil, I'm looking at someone that I don't even know if he's Brazilian or not, bro. At times the way he plays for them, it's actually like a whole 180.
And you know what I find funny, Ahmed?
Yes.
I remember during the summer, the same Brazilians now that are saying Vinicius was robbed were all cussing Vinicius in the summer.
They cook him every international tournament, bro. Like every international break, sorry, yeah. They are cooking Vinicius Jr. Like this guy can't. What's
he
doing?
has 5 goals for Brazil in 5 years. You know this, right?
Yes, I know that. So like again, like this is why, like I always say, like it's almost like a very like. I feel like we're not being truly honest, yeah, in regards to actually Vinicius's actual what he's done as a player this last season. In my personal
It's a
opinion.
popularity contest. At the end of the day, it's a popularity contest.
We're not doing that. If it's a popularity contest, bro, Vinicius would have won. Vinicius would have won the popularity contest. Be honest.
You know what it is? You know what it is? I'm gonna be real. For me, the Balon d'Or lost its credibility ages ago, but you guys know why.
He's gonna start talking about tyranny.
I'm not gonna take. I do not take it as seriously as I do in the past, because if everything will be taken, if they take everything into consideration, then Haaland would have won the Balon d'Or last year as well. And they don't. They just don't do that. They just look at other things. I don't know why. For me, it's just a popularity contest. Who's the next flavor of the month? Rodri is supposedly the best player in the world right now. He carries Spain. He carries Manchester City. That's what they say, by the way. And now he's the flavor of the month. And people just are sick of Vinicius right now. Let's be real. Vinicius is popular. But what I've seen on Twitter, people were like, bro, you do not deserve the Ballon d'Or with your attitude and with your, with your weak mentality. So I've seen a lot of things from the other side as well. And for me,
if we're using trophy logic,
everyone, even rivals, universally like Rodri. If I ask you guys right now, do you like Rodri?
I think Rodri deserves it, by the way. I think Rodri deserves it. I'm not saying he got robbed at all. And here's the thing, Nafisa's right. If the logic is trophy logic, then why isn't Carvajal robbed then? Can I ask that question? He scored in the Champions League final as well, by the way, Carvajal. Scored a fucking goal in the final.
I still think Carvajal's probably not in the top 3 or 4 influential players for Madrid or necessarily for Spain. I think he's obviously had a good season, a good player. I think the fact that you have these two factions, some half arguing for Rodri, half arguing for this, proves that it's close. So it's not clear. I think the people who are saying clear one way or the other, it shows a little bit about what not their agenda, but the way they look at football. And it's very much, if you're purely Mr. Technical, then you'll think, okay, I want to see dribbles, I want to see Vinicius to win, even though I don't necessarily think that's all he has to his game. And whereas people who are more into systems and maybe tiki taka and all this kind of stuff, maybe that's I'm kind of dumbing it down a little bit. They appreciate Rodri a bit more, arguably. I think both players had good seasons, and I don't think there's much in it. But I was actually glad to see Rodri win it. And
I agree.
But there's not that much I don't see.
It's very hard for
I think Madrid boycotting the whole thing and all this. That's such childish, bitchy, ridiculous behavior. Like, grow up.
It's always those two clubs, man. I don't care what anyone says, Barcelona and Real Madrid, bro. They do way too much, man. I'll be real, man. And like, the thing is, that what that does here is it creates even further bias here towards their own players, right? And then what happens to the other clubs? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if there's other players that are doing like amazingly well, I think, but because they don't play Real Madrid or Barcelona, we have to put points down. Like, you know what I mean?
Look, don't get me wrong. Obviously, in the last 3 years, Madrid have knocked City out of the Champions League twice. Mm-hmm. But I will not. I do not believe that Madrid are a better team than City. City should have knocked them out each and every time they played them. But somehow contrived to lose 2 of those semi-finals or whatever they were. But City last season, the season before, and the season before, City were a much better team. They outplayed Madrid for the vast majority of the time. Madrid came up clutch. I absolutely applaud them for that. But like, I can't. I don't. How you get yourself into a situation where you get your knickers in a twist about your player not winning the Ballon d'Or? Like, grow up, man.
I am with you. And by the way, this actually proves a very bad example for everyone else. I'll give you an example. So what if Liverpool win the treble this season? Salah scores 60 goals and then they give the Ballon d'Or to Vinicius. Should Salah not attend the ceremony because he finished second? By the way, all the players that finished second to Madrid and Barcelona players always attended the ceremony. Hell, even back in the Ronaldo Messi days, if Ronaldo won it, Messi was there. If Messi won it, Ronaldo was there. I don't like this approach at all, and I agree with Raks. And the thing that people need to understand is, look, when you have multiple players that are shining throughout the season, they will steal votes away from each other. And I explained this earlier on in the MHF stream. Guys, one of the reasons why Van Dijk didn't win Balon d'Or is because there are journalists who voted Mo number one. There are journalists who voted Mane number one. There is a journalist who I remember till this day voted Trent number one. Alisson got Balon d'Or votes. So let's not sit up here and change reality and change what's happening out there in world football. When you have a team that's a functioning team and a lot of players shine, you still votes away from each other. Like, that's just how it goes. So Bellingham took votes away from Vinny. Carvajal took votes away from Vinny. By the way, one guy a lot of people haven't mentioned, Toni Kroos took votes away from Vinny. Rudiger took votes away from Vinny. This is just how it fucking goes. And this is the same thing that happened for us. For me, I think Rodri is a deserved winner. Now, in terms of Palmer and Saka, and this is my honest opinion on it, I think in order for them to win a Ballon d'Or at their respective clubs, both Arsenal and Chelsea, they need to win a Champions League, win a Premier League, something like that. And I repeat, this is the most important thing because this comes back to my Van Dijk, Mane, and Salah point. You need to be the significant factor. The significant factor. I'll tell you exactly what I mean now. I'll use my club as an example. 4 years ago, if when we won the Champions League 5 years ago, if we're doing the stream, and I tell any of you, Salah is our best player, Mane is our best player, Van Dijk is our best player, Alisson is our best player, Trent is our best player, none of you would get mad because all of those things are okay. Like, you'd be like, I disagree with you, but I hear where you're coming from type shit. That's your energy. If Palmer and Saka want to win Ballon d'Or at Arsenal and Chelsea, it has to be in a position where it's not a fucking conversation. Raks, was there a conversation in 2001 who our best player was? When Owen won it?
Not really.
Are you gonna say Danny Murphy was in the conversation?
No. I'm trying to think. That was the year we won the treble, right?
He won us an FA Cup final against Arsenal by himself, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, who was Owen's strike partner then? Emil Heskey and Robbie Fowler, but Robbie Fowler obviously was kind of a downturn. Not really. Yeah, there wasn't any outstanding at Sami Hyypiä, maybe. I mean,
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
and also he was the young kid, right? He was the golden boy. He wasn't just the golden boy for Liverpool. He was England's golden boy. He burst onto the scene, scored a goal against Argentina. All this stuff that all goes towards the whole narrative, right? And actually, funny enough, you mentioned that Raul was playing for Real Madrid that season, and they were absolutely fuming that Raul didn't win the Ballon d'Or that year. I remember that very clearly.
Yeah. So that's the thing for me. Or they need to move clubs. Saka could win a Ballon d'Or if he goes to Bayern Munich, to Real Madrid, to Barcelona. Palmer the same, unless they're successful significantly in their own clubs, because you have to beat the PR of giants, and this is not easy. That's what I'll say. Who do you guys think is closer to winning a Ballon d'Or? Saka or Palmer? Who's closer?
Yeah, you know
I'd
what I'm gonna say, bro.
probably actually say Palmer. He's done it in the final already. He's scored the goals. I just think in this season, I would like to think we can probably win an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. And if we continue in the same trajectory that I believe in, and we have the better mentality than Arsenal anyway, I think for me personally, bro, I could see Palmer getting it in 2, 4, 3, 4 years. I could see it. I wouldn't say this season, definitely for sure, but 2 to 3 to 4 years, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, Saka is a big game player, and big game players for me are always a 1-0 ahead when it comes to winning those things. If you look at Palmer and Foden's stats, Saka has better stats on his own than those two combined. So that's all I'm saying. and he's just 23 years old as well. Saka can definitely improve to the point that yeah, he can be that guy, and I believe that he can do it as well. You know what's funny, Ahmed? I believe Palmer can be that guy as well, genuinely. Wallahi, bro. It's not even that I'm saying Saka is that guy, Palmer cannot be that guy. I genuinely believe Palmer is a good player, but for me it's tough to compare apples and oranges because one is a winger and the other is a number 10. You know what I'm saying? If
I
this
get what you
question
mean.
was Foden or Palmer, I would say Palmer, personally, because Palmer has shown that he can do it in a worse team, and he would get my vote. But in case of Saka versus Palmer, Saka is Mr. Consistent. Saka gets stats even when he plays shit. Saka is at this stage in his career where he plays shit like Mohamed Salah in few games and still gets GA. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like to see from my players. Even if you have a bad day, that you can still win me a game with a goal or an amazing assist that Saka gets with his amazing crosses. So yeah, I feel like Saka can definitely win the Ballon d'Or over
Look,
Palmer.
I would
I
probably make.
think the irony with that, the irony when you say that though, especially when you bring in what's his name from Man City? What's his name again?
Foden.
Young
Foden.
Foden, is that obviously Foden won the Premier League Player of the Season last year, so he actually has made somewhat that step towards being, the best player in England or whatever you want to call it. Obviously, this season has taken a step backwards. I think Saka.
But you want to know the problem with that logic, Raks? Who won La Liga Player of the Year?
I have no idea.
Jude, not Vinny.
Jude
Okay.
Bellingham won it, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. If
yeah,
that's your logic, then Vinny loses out on that
I think-
logic too.
Again, I think a big argument, like again, is that this is the issue. Like the way these guys vote, I think the people who are voting for some of this stuff, aren't the right guys to be voting. I don't feel like they're knowledgeable enough to be actually assessing these players and making correct decisions. That's just me, my personal opinion too. Whether it be the Balon d'Or or whether it be any player of the season or player of the year, in my personal opinion. But that's just me.
But that's kind of my point as well, Bermuda Gunnar. If Henry didn't win it in 2003, how is Saka expected to win it unless he moves clubs?
But did Bermuda Gunnar, did he watch Nedved play in that season? Because I did, right? Nedved, people talk about Henry and they'll have at that time Serie A was clearly the best league in the world. At that time, Juve and Milan were the two.
Juve lost Zidane that season that he came. By the way, people forget this. Zidane went to Madrid the season that Nedved came into Juve. I like what he was doing for them. Yeah, it was crazy, literally.
So
okay, but
people will see the name Nedved and they'll see the name Henry, and especially being based in England, they'll think this doesn't even make any sense. Why is this conversation even happening? But if you lived it then, it absolutely wasn't crazy. It wasn't crazy.
Yeah, and I watched Nedved back in the day as well. At that time, I even watched them go to Serie B and watch those times as well. So I remember those times, bro. But I'm gonna be real. If you look at Nedved's season and you know what I'm saying, make it 10 times better or twice as better in this case, it would be Henry. Henry had twice his stats. Henry had twice the better season as Nedved, bro. And the fact that he didn't win it, I'm still salty about it. And I'm going to be real, yeah? I'm not only salty about Henry because a lot of other players should have won the Ballon d'Or and didn't win it as well. And a big example of that is Wesley Sneijder when he won the treble with Inter Milan.
Yeah,
I think when he didn't won that Ballon d'Or, bro, that was the cherry on top. Where I was like, okay, khalas, this award is finished, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is just like the Oscars. Whoever is popular, okay, you win it, khalas. You know what I'm saying? It's basically that, bro. It's for me, it's lost its credibility.
There would always be outliers or anomalies.
Politically correct award.
But
How?
Okay.
What? How is it a politically correct award? I don't get this. This is taking us on a dark alleyway here, right?
This is crazy, bro.
Yeah, what do you mean politically correct? Okay, Bermuda Gunnar. There was only one player at City who stood out this whole season, Rodri, and then he won the league with the Euros with Spain, so that counted towards the votes. Vinicius and Bellingham took votes away from each other. That's the fucking thing. And once again, if your argument is the player of the season thing that Foden won, my brother, with all due respect, Vinicius did not win La Liga Player of the Season. Jude did. That's my point. We cannot use that logic.
there will always be bad decisions or decisions that people aren't happy with. I remember 08-09, Steven Gerrard played a spectacular season for Liverpool. He won the Football Writers' Player of the Year. The PFA Players of the Year, decided by the players, was run by Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs started 7 league games that season. Steven Gerrard was ever present throughout Liverpool. He scored 20 plus goals, don't know how many assists. He was
That was like
spectacular.
his goodbye award.
Yeah. So, like, and
then he slept with his brother's wife.
Crazy.
And on that bombshell. So people will always be unhappy about particular years or whatever, and I kind of get it, but
yeah, that's the goodbye reward right there. Anyway, listen, on that bombshell right there, big up to all of you guys. We're gonna wrap it up here. You get me? Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Every single one of you guys right now, please hit the like button and subscribe. People think I have a city agenda, bro. Listen, don't make me unpack on that red club right there. You best believe if I unpack that football club right there, ooh, we'll be here all day long. You get me? So let's not even go there. Big up Imogen or whatever the fuck her name was. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing on your way out. Big up to every single super chatter. Big up to all of you guys. I love all of you for supporting this stream. This was actually very fun, to be honest. This was a funny stream and a fun stream. And this stream is going to take you over to my work wife, Footy Judge Mo. You get me? It's going to take you over to the work wife at this point, Footy Judge Mo. Me and him are just everywhere together. It's like a fucking tag team. We're also on Straight Facts again together tomorrow. So, yeah. And they're going to actually be discussing the Balon d'Or in depth as well. So, he has Mohamed Salad over there, and they're going to do it. So, make sure you don't go anywhere and go over there. TKA, thank you so much for joining us on Late Notice as well. The Bridge Nation in the location, in the description. Go subscribe. You will see me in his comment section, even though he says it's secondary when I big him up. Rak never says it's secondary. He always bigs me up whenever he sees me. RakSingh1 on Twitter. Go follow him. Sarcasm City TV in the description. And Sicilian Gooner in the description. You get me? Pizza's overrated. And pasta's crap. Love you all. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Peace.